listen, this show is about you. This show is about us. Welcome to Food for Thought, where each week contesting teams of LBS students will open up their homes to host a culinary experience that will be judged by their competition as we engage in colorful conversation. Let's go!
Team Chewing the Fat's 3 members are busy making final preparations before their guests come on board the Orient Express. Meet Matei, Shin, and Francois, our conductor for the trip.
My boyfriend works here.
Okay.
So, we met it's geographically complicated. We met in New York a few years ago. He went to finish his PhD, got a job here, and we kind of agreed that London was the meeting point, so I got here.
Born in Romania, born and raised in Romania actually, and then been all over the place, like studied in Germany, internships in Southeast Asia, recently working in Switzerland.
Matei makes it his responsibility to defend Switzerland and all things. He's like every time there's something about Switzerland, which is generally negative when Switzerland comes up in class. They have like secretive banking system.
Tax evasion.
Kind of always borderline sleazy.
It's good there. You should go there. Yeah. It's great fun and low taxes. Has to go somewhere. And you know, if you can make profit out of it, why not? No, I'm joking.
From China originally, born in Xi'an, and then came here when I was 5. So pretty much British. Love East London. Love the fact that you get a bit more space for your money and.
Starting in Paris and ending in Constantinople, the team is taking us back in time along a gastronomical journey.
Well, the whole theme of the Orient Express is to bring back the romanticism into travel and actually give people an adventure through Europe and going through the Far East, because nowadays everybody travels with airlines and it's just so boring. Everybody's so used to traveling, and we wanted to recreate the La Belle Époque where people would take the train and actually have this great adventure by train and go through different countries and, you know, experiment things that are really genuinely exotic, like pomegranate.
So, you know, we thought of food, and then we thought of Orient Express, and then we said we need to match it. And you will be surprised during the whole dining experience how each station of the Orient Express serves one dish.
The passengers begin to arrive. First, and on time, Team Chippendale's Anna and Slava, followed by the Porter brothers from Australia. The conductor had everything under control, but the train was delayed to depart. Apparently Team Garam Masala was operating on Indian Standard Time.
My name is Chitij, and this is Anirudh, and we are the Team Garam Masala, which is a really popular Indian spice, and it is supposed to be really hot. That's why the acronym Garam before the masala.
I think Garam Masala has 2 meanings to it. One is the normal meaning, which as Shit is told. The other thing is the naughty side of life. So it's more philosophical than what it really means.
Special arrangements had been made for Anirudh of Team Garam Masala.
And I'm a vegetarian.
I mean, it's cool, but the funny thing is, we were talking about it earlier, we were saying, he said, oh, I don't eat meat, I don't eat eggs. So then I went back and said, oh, can you clarify, do you eat seafood? And then he said, his reply was, I don't eat meat, I don't eat eggs. And I was like, dude, like, what does that mean?
Frankly speaking, this is not the first time that I've had issues with my dietary requirements.
No seafood, no meat, Dairy's okay, no eggs. So we'll get there, don't worry. I used to run this pub restaurant and then we used to get all kind of weird requests. The most extreme was like raw vegan, so can't eat anything that's cooked above 48 degrees Celsius. Oh, okay, that's gonna be hard. Yeah, we ended up running a whole series of raw vegan events after that, and turned out to be really popular. So it turns out there's a lot of vegans in London, so we're cool. I think we'll be okay tonight.
And the meat is not like, it's nothing you'll miss, you know.
Garam masala finally arrived at 10 p.m. On board, Anirudh and Kshitij from India, Anna and Slava from Russia, Jared and Phil from Australia. Train departed 2 hours delayed.
We'll be leaving Paris, Gare de Stellitz, and going to Constantinople. Bienvenue. Et nous allons commencer with appetizers.
Anna was smitten by Francois' French right from the beginning. Too bad Slava was around.
We love the approach, yeah, and the invitation and everything.
I think it's a weird team, but I had no idea about Orient Express before.
I didn't know there was a theme.
Okay, so Zimmer's the guy who...
No, well, I followed Google Maps here and ended up walking on the freeway. The part where I got so far that I realized there was no...
Why was Jared fumbling with the appetizer?
I'm not sure if they'd claimed the lettuce.
You think they didn't clear the
I don't think so. Really? Do you?
I don't know.
I liked the prawn. It had a really nice flavour, but...
I did keep eating those because I wanted to eat the prawns.
I had 4, but I'm not sure if they were...
Well, I like the way how they combine all different wine with all the different dishes. Yeah, now I need to say that we're hosting next week, and basically I'm kind of, I don't know, already preparing for getting drunk on Thursday.
Roasted beetroot, orange, and then they had, what was it, orange?
Sausages and orange.
Yeah, the combination of beetroot and orange, very interesting. I thought it was great. They took the risk.
That was actually the winning dish. I really outperformed everything. That was like a fine dining
It
type.
was good. I think it was a really good mix of flavors. Obviously, not everyone would have liked it just because it's kind of original, but I mean, I think it was worth it.
Balsamic vinegar and honey around the outside, and it was... Yeah.
I love truffle risotto, and for me it was better than the beetroot thing, because I don't really like the beetroot, but the risotto was good.
Yeah, if Martha Stewart had a real kitchen, that's what it would look like. It would be messy. Did I look like Martha? Come on, tell me I look like Martha.
As the Orient Express arrives in Italy, 2 hours delayed, everyone is famished.
So they brought it out, and I think that I got one of the early ones, and I sat for quite a while waiting for everyone to be served, and I was just smelling this awesome truffle oil smell.
Yeah, it was really good smell, wasn't it?
It was amazing. So yeah, I had 2 of those as well. Yeah, delicious.
You did have 2 of those.
Yeah.
Tawi.
Team Garam Masala wasn't as impressed as the Porter brothers. Anirudh looked contemplative before he dug in. Chugging along on Indian Standard Time, he thought we were still in France.
The what?
Risotto?
The only main that you had.
What was it called? Risotto?
Yeah, it was a risotto.
Okay, I hate French.
The Orient Express slowed its pace for the night passengers taking rest. With wine settling into our bodies, we started contemplating the journey of our lives and whether we were on the right track. With bankers, lawyers, accountants, and consultants on board, many of us had chosen a safe track before and hoped to find something better by coming to LBS. But in the words of the wise Luca Prosperi, we thought we could come here and outsource the difficult decisions in life.
I love food, but the problem is there's no money in the food business, so it's really hard to make money, and yeah, we couldn't sustain that. But definitely, if you're gonna do something entrepreneurial, I think it's got to be in an area that you really feel passionate about. Otherwise, you get so much crap along the way. I'm sure there's going to be difficult moments, and if you don't love what you do, then you'll just quit.
So how did you identify what it is that you love?
I don't know. That's a really difficult question.
Some were realizing sooner than others that was delusional. We might actually have to think about it and figure it out for ourselves.
you decide to pursue the path you always thought is the right one for you. And then you realize that it's just a different one, a different wrong one. I mean, for instance, you always wanted to become, I don't know, like a screenwriter or whatever, and you were a consultant. And so you quit, you say, fair enough, I'm leaving, whatever. And then you start doing what you always wanted to do, and you realize that that's not the point. Like, I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my opinion is surely it's better to regret having taken action, and then rather than regretting never having tried at all. I mean, I think to know what you don't enjoy is as valuable as knowing what you do love. Back to your point earlier. So, having tried a certain path, yes, sometimes the grass is always greener. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, that happens. But then try again. And
May I challenge you on that?
about
You highlight the bright side of, doing what you want, being, pursuing your dream and being successful at that, and letting go of what you have right now to be able to do so. As we know, many entrepreneurs fail. I guess most of us have a safety mechanism in our mind that say, what we're having right now, it's good. So let's don't take that bold step in changing our career, because the downside, like the upside it's great, but the downside is so depressing that we don't want to be there.
I don't know if the downside being so depressing. Like, seriously, I'm here as a student with negative income, and this is really not that bad. Like, I was making a pretty sweet salary when I was 23. And,
You were a lawyer?
I was a lawyer in New York. I had no life, but yeah,
and back to your point about risk and downside, and Matei's point about downside, I mean, do we genuinely think there's that much downside from taking a risk?
Some people just don't know how to find that passion or what it is that they're really good at and they want to build their life on. And on the other hand, the people who maybe do know, they struggle with the idea of, well, when is safe enough to take that leap? When is it safe enough? Am I safe now? And do I have enough? Am I comfortable enough to be able to take that leap?
It's not always safe.
Are you ever safe?
It's never safe.
There's like sort of people like probably like 5% of the population of us that are willing to take that chance, and they have, they take a fair gamble. They might be successful or they're not. But I guess 95% of the people are happy to be safe.
But are they happy?
I mean, there's lots of things that make you safe and just don't make you all that happy.
Okay. What is the right track?
How many of you guys were influenced very heavily by what your mother or father did?
I was. My father worked in finance, and he's basically going the same route. He was going through the same route I'm going now, though it was a bit different because it was post-Soviet Russia. But he worked in investment banking in the 90s, and now he works in growth equity venture capital. And I mean, the thing is that he never was pressing on me. Like, he never was saying to me, look, this is what I do and this is what should be done. At this point of time, one of the main goals in my life is just to close as like the least amount of doors as possible. And I mean, I'm going to corporate world now, and probably I will get tired of it at some point of time, but I won't regret it anyway, because I just don't want to see, I want to see how the world works, and entrepreneurship is just one side. One of the worst things in life which you can have is just finding your right track from the first stance, and just following it for the rest of your life, because you become so narrow-minded, you just don't get to see everything else what's going on, because you never know what is the best, and there is no best, there's just different things. And personally, my goal is just to try as much as I can, and when I'm 70, I just hope that the day when I'll be able to say to myself that the grass is not greener on the other side will come.
The Porter imposter, Phil Kearney, had been really quiet. He finally got a chance to say what he was really wondering.
How long ago did you guys meet?
We're not dating.
We're not dating.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's awkward.
Jared Porter had only one thing on his mind while the other passengers pondered over their life aspirations.
I don't like mushroom normally,
I love
but
mushroom.
I fucking love that meal. But I thought it was delicious. I loved the moussaka. That was my favorite delish.
The first thing which comes to my mind is like everything was impeccable, and we actually expected something extraordinary and maybe something like, I don't know, something different, and we got it.
What did it have in it?
It was called the Trou Normand, I think, something like that. But which basically means the the whole of Normandy or something.
I don't know.
And then I was supposed to create a hole in your stomach, and I shotted it, and the first thing I thought was that the only way this thing is going to form a hole in my stomach is by bringing everything else back up.
No, it was called le Trou Normand.
Yeah.
Yes, le Trou Normand.
Le
Yeah,
Trou
the hole from Normandy.
Le Trou Normand.
He actually speaks French. He's just trying to hide the fact that.
No, I used to.
Yeah.
So we had a cheesecake at the end, which was a it was a pomegranate cheesecake with rose water in the cheese with a ginger nut crust, and it was amazing.
And combined with a mint tea.
Oh, and it was some mint in there as well.
And a mint tea.
Oh, yeah, the mint
Yeah,
tea.
yeah.
Yeah, it was good, nice and simple.
I like the cheese. I like the idea of a cheesecake, but I have to say that, well, I have tried cheesecake which are better. It was so beautiful, even though like I have some issues with the taste.
I would say the worst part of the experience tonight was to finding the place.
Yeah. Hey, anyway, we were scheduled to be half an hour late.
The Food for Thought finale is sponsored by the Hospital Club, London's home to the celebrities. Create, connect, and collaborate.